Hello, this is Richard with SoCal Warehouse, and in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step on what you can expect when you go to sell your commercial real estate property. Step number one, a property tour. I cannot give anyone any advice, any recommendations until I step foot on that property. I need to know what year that property was built, the zoning, the location, the height clearances, the electrical supplies, the drainage systems, the parking requirements. There's so many variables when it comes to commercial real estate that need to be taken into consideration before we could move along in the process to make sure that your property is being marketed in a way where it's going to appeal to the right buyer. And that's very important. The right buyer is very important because they're the one that's going to pay top dollar for your property. And that's our objective, is to net you as much money as possible. Step number two, pricing. The reality is you may have a price already in mind for your property or what you think it's worth. And together, I like to collaborate with my clients to bring real data, to bring real comps based on the specifics of their property and find comparable properties that have sold recently, so that we have a realistic expectation of what the property is worth and also what to price it at, so that when we hit the market, we're not too high and we're just not sitting on the market and get lowballed by, let's say, investors or people who may just see an opportunity, or we're also not too low or we're leaving money on the table. And our objective is to get you as much money as possible, and we can only do this when we really look at statistics, real data, based on what your local market is doing based on your specific property type and asset class. Step number three, marketing and content. This is really where SoCal Warehouse thrives. We have an in-house marketing department where we specialize in doing virtual tours of your property, professional photography, not to mention all of the technology that we leverage to make sure that the property, when marketed, is going out to thousands of potential buyers, qualified buyers, not just locally, but nationwide. We have a lot of transactions where companies from out of state are actually coming to move into Southern California and are looking online. And when we showcase a property and have very clear expectations of what that buyer can expect, it increases our conversion for an actual potential sale to someone who sees the value based on your property and based on your property criteria that we're able to market at a high quality based on our marketing. Step number four is checking the financial strength of the buyer. We're getting offers at this point and we're negotiating, and price may be the only thing we're looking at, but it's our job to make sure that if we enter into contract with a buyer, that they have the means and the willingness to purchase the property. And we do this by verifying proof of funds, credit checks, lenders, the whole 9 yards. And it's important for us to not go under contract with someone that is not going to be able to close, because we miss out on opportunities to sell the property to someone else who is qualified and just may have came along later than the buyer that we accepted an offer for. So it's important to not rush this process, but to really vet the buyer so that we do not have an escrow that is just cancels, and that's we have to start the process all over again. So this part is very critical. Step number five is escrow. In this process, really the buyer is given the opportunity to get their financing in place. They're getting their loan finalized. They're also doing their due diligence on the property, making sure that everything is in alignment with what we've disclosed. And it also gives you the opportunity to disclose anything that you are aware of the property, to release any liability for you after the sale of the property. And it is in this step where broker like myself is in communication with the other broker involved or the buyer directly to make sure that everything is moving along in a timely manner based on the purchase agreement that was agreed upon. Step number six, this is close of escrow, and this is where your funds are dispersed however you've acknowledged escrow and instructed them to disperse your funds. If you're in a 1031 exchange, this is where you actively, really aggressively start seeing offers if you haven't already, so that you could purchase that property within the time frames of a 1031 exchange. And really, it's a celebration. It's a landmark for this property that was just sold. Hopefully, it was a profitable investment for you, and we look forward to coming alongside. If you have any questions on the sales process, we do specialize in commercial real estate sales here in Southern California. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to email us directly at info@socalwarehouse.com. That is info@socalwarehouse.com, or message us back wherever you're watching this video, and we look forward to connecting. Once again, this is Richard with SoCal Warehouse. Talk to you soon.